I Got the Hell Out does contain explicit content that might not be suitable for some listeners, such as children, those that easily get offended, and we do recommend that listeners at work put your earbuds in if you have coworkers around.
And if you like the show, please spread the word by telling as many people as you can. Would also appreciate if you would subscribe, rate, hopefully with 5 stars, and review the podcast on iTunes. You can find us there as well as on Stitcher and Overcast. You can follow us on Twitter at WasInACult, on Facebook at I Got the Hell Out, and on Instagram at I Got the Hell Out with an underscore after each word. You can contact us through our website at IGotTheHellOut.com.
Good to go. Hi guys, Deb.
Hi, this is Laura.
And another episode of I Got the Hell Out. First of all, I'd like to apologize to everybody. Apparently, the last episode, we had some technical issues. I sounded like Mr. Robot going, anything, 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 anything.
I don't know if it was the weather, like the thunder maybe.
I think I touched the microphone as you were like converting it to a PFD or A or whatever it is you convert it to.
You know what? This is so beyond my comprehension. I don't know.
I touched the microphone, so maybe it did something because I was going to turn it off and unplug it, and you were like,
maybe.
No, don't touch it.
Maybe.
So... And
I don't know.
I'd like to apologize to everyone else. This is so hard to have this, we do this basically spontaneously. And a lot of times I trip over my words or I go to say something and my brain screams, no, you can't say that. So I do a switch up in mid-sentence and it sounds like Laura did some really bad editing. And we actually do this all in one shot. Because we're not professionals, so we
don't... People don't know that, do they?
Well, we're not professionals, so we don't have to edit if we don't want to. So doing it all in one shot makes it so much easier.
Makes it easier, and editing is kind of a loose term anyway.
Yeah, loose term.
Yeah.
And you said we wouldn't have been able to get the anything out of there anyway.
I would not. I mean, somebody that knows what they're doing might have been able to. I sure as hell couldn't.
And that's all right. Listening later in the episode, I said something about a lot of money, and it sounded like it did it again. But that was just actually me. Yeah, so that wasn't a mess up. But we apologize. We're really trying to be professional, but we're not. So thanks for bearing with us, in all honesty.
And especially this episode, we're literally dropping this episode as soon as we're done. Because it's, 5:30?
No, it's actually 5:45.
Holy crap, it is. It's almost 6 o'clock. Okay, so yeah, as soon as we're done, we're dropping the episode. There is no time to edit.
There is no time to edit. We actually picked up a new country. We're now in South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, South Africa. And I think you told me that our first Patreon person was from Malaysia.
Fiona is in Malaysia.
Oh,
so thank you, Fiona. And also we have
Wait a minute. Fiona still needs to give us her address because I can send anything anywhere in the world and it costs me less than $2. So, and we'd love to give you a handwritten note from us for being our
sticker.
well, she's getting the sticker. Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. You can find us on Facebook or email us again.
I don't know. Maybe we're talking about two different things here. The look on your face, I
don't even know what kind of look I have on my face. I'm just trying to get ready. I just don't want to leave out anybody. I just want to thank everyone that's contributed.
Who was the first person who contributed on...
I don't know.
Okay, well, I thought you said it was somebody from Malaysia, and they said don't send the sticker.
That was Fiona.
Okay. Well, we're going to send her a sticker and a note and stuff. I don't know.
So, Fiona, there you go. Give us your address.
No, I thought it was Kat was the first one. I don't know.
Where are you going with this?
I have no idea.
What the hell are you...
I'm trying not to trip over my tongue.
Okay. But everyone that has contributed to Patreon, thank you so much. And we also have, in addition to this week, in addition to Fiona, we have Allie. So those are our 2 for this week. Thank you. And to everyone that has already contributed, thank you so much. You have no idea how much this helps us out.
And I was only joking about buying $8 drinks and parking tickets. I was trying to be funny. I mean,
And I thought, I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should say something. I don't want them thinking that we're...
No. I mean, seriously, that was a lot of equipment to buy and doing the contests and things like that. And keep spreading the love. Oh, and Jennifer designed us the most awesomest gnome little leader culty man.
That is the best drawing sketch. I'm not sure what you call it.
She just said he needs the glasses. All he needed was glasses, and it would have been him.
It was perfect. It had the shrimp, and it had a bag of money.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. We loved your artwork. And Rebecca messaged me about the mesquite beans that they're scavenging.
What?
Mesquite beans. It's another episode.
Oh, okay.
How
I don't
they're
remember.
You don't remember a lot of stuff, but anyway, the mesquite beans. They're sending people out to the mesquite trees to harvest the pods.
Oh, now I remember that.
And she said you can actually eat them. It's not recommended, but if you pick the pods up that are on the ground, they might have some kind of fungus or bacteria in them.
Okay.
And it's especially harmful to children and like elderly people.
Gotcha.
And cows really shouldn't eat mesquite beans either. So I'm not quite sure what it does to the cows. Hey, Stace, what does mesquite beans do to cows? Please get back to me, please. She's my cow friend from the cult. So
All right.
she finds comfort in her cows now. What?
I don't even have a comment for that. Okay.
She's a cowgirl.
Moving on.
Moving on. I had a really nice conversation with April J. She got out of a really bad relationship and she's been listening to us. And she said she's having a hard time, like with some stuff. And I told her something and she said I needed to shout this out to everybody everywhere, every lady who's going through something.
Oh, what did she say?
Well, this was what I said to her, okay? I said, April, you are everything you will ever need in life. Anybody else is just sprinkles. You are the only person that you will ever wake up with every day of your life from the day you were born until the day you leave. You are always more than enough. Everybody has strengths in them that they don't know that they have until you have to use them. The bad things that happen to us in life don't define us. They give us strength and wisdom. So straighten your crown, lift your head high, and you keep on marching like the queen bee that you are.
Oh, that was really sweet.
So anybody out there who needs to hear that, straighten your crown and keep moving because you are a queen. You got it in you.
Straighten that crown, girl.
Straighten that crown on up. Somebody else confirmed that there is no more alcohol out there.
Oh, not even during feasts.
I'm assuming not. I forget. I don't think Mogan David has alcohol in it, does it?
I don't even know what that is.
It's our Jewish friends would know what that is. It's Passover wine.
Oh, I have no idea.
But I don't think it has alcohol in it so that the children can drink it also. So, and I found out they're selling the chlorine tabs as supplements because it kills cancer.
It does now.
It does. Do you think we should notify the MDA?
I must have missed that class in pharmacy school.
Do you think we should notify the MDA? Or is it the FDA?
The FDA, DEA, whatever.
But yeah, apparently this cult has found the cure to cancer and it is swallowing chlorine pills.
Well, here's the question I have. If they have found the cure to cancer, why are they not selling it and making a buttload of money?
I'm not sure, but
Because you know that if it did, quote, cure cancer, they would be making a ton of money from it.
Maybe they just sell it to their...
funny. Yeah, just saying.
I feel really bad, and I have to specify that it's the leader, most of the elders, their wives, not all of the wives, but those are the evil people. Like, if you were a member, Laura, you wouldn't be one of the evil ones.
Right, oh no. No, I get what you're saying about that, yeah.
So... there was an ex-elder's wife that I've been talking to on the phone and texting, and she feels so bad for the role that she has played. Because I've talked to several elders' wives, and at times it was soul-crushing, because what do you tell these people? Somebody comes to you, my husband beats me, and you're supposed to tell the woman, well, maybe you should be more subservient to him. Maybe that's why he's beating you. Or somebody else says, my children are hungry, I have no food. Well, did your husband provide you food? Well, why didn't you make it last?
So it's kind of like, oh my God, I have to spew some bullshit that I don't believe.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And she said a lot of the upper echelon that she's talked to after they've gotten out, they feel really bad and remorseful. It was soul shattering and mind numbing. She is actually still friends with an elder that I kind of despised. I didn't like him at all. I didn't like his attitude. I didn't like the way he treated his wives. So she told me that she recently ran into him, and he also is very remorseful on things he told people, the way he treated people. And I, at one point, was forced to go to well, wasn't forced, but I went to an ex-member's house that was a man that I truly did not like when I was there because of the way he treated his wife, the way he treated his kids. And my significant other and his significant other both went to bed for the evening, not together, of course.
Right.
But me and him sat up and we were talking for quite a while. And I told him that I didn't really want to come to his house because I despised him and how different he is
said that to
now.
him?
I did. And he said that he was a very different person back then because you have to follow the rules. We're going to get into the kingdom. The end is coming. You have to have enough food. Make your children
So
behave.
they just convinced themselves that was true.
And
Is
they're
mean-
trying to live like the cult is trying to tell you to live. And it is horrible and it's depressing and it's suffocating. And of course the men are going to suffer in their own ways. But I was surprised that the elder said that he was very remorseful about a lot of the bullshit that he
Wow.
had to re-spew out. And I never thought about it, but I'm pretty sure everybody that's left there has regrets about things.
So I wonder what was the very first time they had to counsel someone with this crap. I wonder what went through their head, like as they're saying this bullshit. I wonder what was going through their head. You know, like that would have to be so.
I only made it to deaconess, okay? And
So did you have to counsel anybody?
no, I was only a deaconess,
Which is what?
which is slightly more than nothing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it went
A nothing.
the leader,
Okay.
man, and then it went to the elders, then
Okay.
it went to the elders' wives, then it went to the deacons, then it went to the deaconesses, and then it was hi,
Everybody
you're
else,
just
or-
the sponge of the earth, but you're saved because
Right.
you're here with us. That makes you special.
So you were one step above everybody else.
I was one step above everybody else, which made me do a heck of a lot more work because you're expected to serve more.
I was
once you
just going to
become a
say,
deaconess.
why would you want to become a deaconess?
It was just a status symbol. It just,
Okay.
Everybody else who lived there basically was, and if you weren't, there was something wrong with you.
Okay, now could anybody become a deaconess, or did you have to take a test?
You had to
or
be
what
above
was
the
deal?
age of 13 years old.
Okay.
And I was always confused about how they chose the deaconesses, deacons, elders, and things like that. And let's see, who asked that? Brooke asked how were the elders and the others picked. Now, I can tell you it was probably 3 days before a feast.
Okay.
And she was an elder's wife, but she was not a deaconess, which was very odd. Though,
Usually you're both.
well, usually your husband will make deacon and you'll make deaconess, but
And then you move up?
right.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
he was one of the youngest elders, and that made her one of the youngest elders' wives.
Okay.
And anyway, me and her were doing something that we very much should not have been doing. We would have gotten in a lot of trouble, okay? And as we're sitting there giggling and doing what we're doing, I looked at her and I says, "Oh my gosh, wouldn't it be funny if we both made deaconess this feast?" And she sputtered out, but she was just like, she's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." She goes, "That would mean that this place is utter and total bullshit." And oh my gosh, we continued doing what we weren't supposed to be doing. And that feast, both of us made deaconess.
Just by chance?
I
Or-
guess just by chance. But what they would, from what I understand, is they cast lots.
Oh my
And I'm not
God.
exactly sure how you cast lots.
It's basically pulling a name out of a hat.
Well, no. What they
No?
would do, from what I understand, somebody would have to like nominate you to be a deaconess
Okay.
or a deacon. And I guess they wrote like yes and no on 2 separate pieces of crumpled up paper. And they prayed over the papers and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
On your name.
Right.
And then they throw them at the wall. And
What?
and then the crumpled paper that lands the closest to the wall is the answer.
You've got to be kidding me.
That's how somebody explained it to me, casting lots there. So, both of us, because she had been married to the elder for, I think, almost a year. Would have been like her 3rd or 4th feast.
Okay.
that she still wasn't a deaconess. And it was like, okay, really? And plus, they used the elders' wives as counselors and things.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was really weird for her not to have made deaconess all that time. And yeah, that's casting lots. But me and her were in hysterics that we both made deaconess, and we had both been scoffing 3 days before that.
Oh my gosh. Now, were you kind of happy too, though, at the same time that you were? Or did you just like, this
Yeah,
is
I wasn't.
ridiculous?
I had been there for like a year and a half. I don't even know. I'll have to look at I have my certificate downstairs. I'll have to post
We'll
my
have to post it.
certificate.
Do that.
I'm going to have to scratch a bunch of stuff out on it,
Oh
but
my God. So what did you have to do? Because you said you didn't counsel as deaconess, correct? No. Okay, so what did you do? What were some of the, quote, perks of being a deaconess?
you weren't a common person.
Isn't that it?
That's right.
Okay, you weren't a commoner.
Yeah. But then again, just about everybody made deacon or deaconess.
Okay.
At some point. If you've been there long enough, you get it.
So that's not that big of a deal? Or it is? Or
anymore, I don't know what it is. They've got these different levels of kohans and judges, and you put your right hand in, you put your right hand out. I have no idea what's going on out there. I heard some really creepy crap lately. I heard that they are now making themselves naked, sticking themselves in burlap sacks.
What?
And they are throwing the ashes of the red heifer on them in order to atone for their sins.
What? Okay, anyone that wants to draw this, go right ahead. What?
I about shit myself today when somebody told me that.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Biblically, you're supposed to, like, put yourself in sackcloth.
Right, yeah, that's biblical, but I don't think it says anything about a heifer's ashes or being naked.
It does.
Oh my
and
God.
and there was somebody that actually contacted me because they lived close enough to where they did the animal sacrifices.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
No.
Oh yes. They would show off the red heifer that was live. And do you know what a red heifer is?
It's a red cow or something, right?
Well, close. It's a very pretty red color cow, and it's a heifer, so that makes it a she. And hey, Stace, feel free to step in and tell me anything on this that I'm wrong on. But it's perfect. There's not a single hair on it that is white, black, brown.
Oh, it's all red.
It's a complete red heifer. And what they do is they burn this poor cow up until it's nothing but ashes.
Stop. No.
Well, the friend that was telling me this, she said, in all honesty, she didn't know if the cow was alive or dead when they burned it.
Okay, you know what? Why are you saying this to me?
I'm not saying it to you. I am telling the world what these sick people are doing.
That is so horrible.
They also...
and you keep going.
Well, they also...
You keep going.
They also sacrifice a lamb during Passover so that they can smear the blood over the doorways, like it says to do in the Old Testament also.
Okay.
It's the call. It's not me. I'm just reporting on...
I hate all this animal stuff.
Maybe someday it'll be able to be stopped.
Maybe.
Because I don't know if they've only sacrificed one red heifer. What happens when you run out of ashes? I mean, you can only...
I thought you were going to say what happens when you run out... Yeah, I mean,
you'd have to find another perfect one and sacrifice it.
Right.
And burn it up into ashes. And they're mixing it with water and like...
So it's like a paste?
I don't know. I think maybe it's like a liquidy thing because I was told that you were supposed to put it on your house during the 3 feasts. It was supposed to sanctify it and make your house holy.
Dead animal ashes.
I guess.
Okay.
I don't even know if they're using holy water. I mean, we didn't have holy water back then, but who knows what the hell they're making now.
Oh, God.
In all honesty.
Okay.
They're salting their floors. All I can imagine is...
Wait, this is because they had to salt everything else, right? So now wherever they walk, they need to salt?
I don't...
Sort of like icy sidewalks?
I don't know, but all I can imagine is somebody screwed up and they must have like 100,000 pounds of salt somehow that they need to get rid of.
God, that is so funny.
But I didn't get to talk to this sister very long, but she's like, were you there when we were having to salt the floors in the house too and everything? No. And I was like, no. Apparently it remember how not things magically turn clean at sunset?
Right, right.
Well, apparently you have to salt your paper and your floors. Anything that you can't kosher or whatnot, you just throw salt at it.
That is so funny.
Isn't that like a Wiccan thing? Is anybody out there like the salt is a Wiccan thing and you'd like draw I don't know.
I don't know if it's salt. Well, I know it's also like a superstition too.
Well,
throwing it over the shoulder.
Well, I know you can like put a salt ring around you and the demons aren't supposed to be able to enter. Now, of course, you're trapped in this salt ring in the middle of a room, but
that could be
go figure.
If anyone is Wiccan, let us know.
Oh, we have a few that are Wiccan. We've already had some nice conversations.
Oh, well, then they can tell us.
That's why I threw it out there.
Alrighty. Drink that beer.
I like my beer.
What's next?
They apparently tore down the playground. And guess what they built?
What, the wind blew it over?
No, they tore it down. Did you see the picture of the baby in that swing?
That was horizontal with the ground?
But it was like 12 feet in the air.
Oh my God, yeah.
The ropes on that were so long. That was actually, the ropes were attached at the back area of that big slide box thing that is like 15, 20 feet in the air. Yeah, that kid was flying.
That was the most sorry-ass playground set I've ever seen in my life.
I know somebody on Facebook said they couldn't even build a decent playground and they were going to build the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. And I died.
That is true.
That is true. Died of laughter over that one because it was the shittiest playground ever. And in the one picture, you can actually see the big tractor tire, and underneath through that, you can see a car tire that's painted red.
And that's what they played on, car tires?
Yeah, buried in the ground. How much fun is it to play on a half-buried car tire? I mean...
I don't know. Maybe when you're little, it's fun. I don't know.
I saw kids jump on them and jump right off, but...
Maybe it was fun.
I don't think it was. But I didn't get to what they built there. Where the playground was.
Okay.
Guess what they built?
Oh, dear. God only knows.
A men's only store.
No.
Yes.
A men's only store.
A men's only store. Because, like this...
Just clothing or other things?
Oh, God, no. Everything that they sell in the women's grocery store.
Wait, now they have separate grocery stores?
Yes.
Oh,
what? They have separate grocery stores on the grounds. They tore down the playground and they put in a men's only grocery store because there are so many single men that are flooding this place. And I'm assuming it's probably because of the prison ministry.
Because they're coming out of jail.
Yes, and they have nowhere else to go, that the place is overflowing.
So why can they not shop with women now?
Because a woman would make things unclean.
That's right.
You pick up, Laura, you pick up that peach. That peach is going to be unclean forever.
Never mind. I forgot.
So they had to open a second men's store.
That is so funny.
The little children lost their playground, and you think it's funny that they get a men's only store.
You know what? I don't even know what to say about all this ridiculousness.
A couple of the kids didn't even remember the ridiculousness of the playground because it was so pitiful that they didn't even want to play on it.
They probably blocked it out.
The one guy who lived on the grounds, he did tell me that he basically blocked that out because it was such a crappy playground. And yeah, they had a secret basketball hoop in the woods that they would go back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought so. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
I was just going to say that. You got to do what you got to do.
And by the way, I apologize to all the bald men out there. Remember,
what did you say?
I had such joy, with Kenny last time.
Oh.
And laughing about him and his baldness. But see, I was 21 years old. You don't want to be 21 years old dating a bald guy. Do you know what I mean? And, now I'm in the age bracket that most of my guy friends are bald. So bald is beautiful now.
No, I think, to me, it sounded like it was more of a shock, not something that was a turnoff. Like, if you would have met him without his baseball cap on.
I would never have went out with him.
But you know what I'm saying, though? It would have been, that's what it is.
And I guess it was his charming personality that took over after that.
Something did.
Because me and the bald man kept going out, so... And the rest is history that everybody's learning about.
You gonna go to Kenny's Corner now? Or are we gonna come back to Kenny's Corner?
Our
new segment.
I really think I sounded really mean to him in the last episode. And I meant to say more about the song I dedicated to him, Adele, Rolling in the Deep. Because, in all honesty, I loved that man. He was the father of my children. And I just couldn't believe that he was choosing a religious organization. And we were slowly suffocating in the things that were going on. And, the song goes, we could have had it all. And we really could have had it all. And now I forgot what else I was going to say about that. Other than...
You're apologizing?
Well, I'm not apologizing anymore because that man put me through 15 years of torture because I left him. And anything that he could do, he would do. He took me for 15 months worth of child support payments because he could for our youngest son because he's been living with him for the past 6 or 7 years. So when the oldest son aged out, Kenny decided, well, you know what? I'm going to make you pay 15, months worth of child support. I make buku bucks and you make nothing. So screw you, Ken. I'm not sorry.
Kenny's Corner. It's our segment, Kenny's Corner this week.
Oh, wait a minute. We have a new segment.
Here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. If you do something shitty to someone, you get a segment on our show. That's the new thing. We're calling you out.
This one's called What About Bob?
Bitchin' About Bob.
Bob.
Well, no, because this is also tying in with how we met. Because someone wanted to know how we met.
Okay.
So that was
I used to work for the guy you were dating.
Yeah, whose name was Bob.
And he convinced you that you needed a housekeeper.
Right.
Enter me.
Yes. So there you are. So we became friends.
Well, no, I just worked for you. We talked occasionally, but I'm really not
friends.
Well,
I was at work, though. I was at work.
Well, I'm really not friends with people that I work for.
Okay.
So, but yeah, you were dating this guy, Bob, and what happened?
Oh, yes. Let me, wish I had a glass of wine so I could just sit back here and start bitching about him. So, no, he was such a nice guy that the day that I got laid off from my job, he dumped me.
That's a nice guy.
That's a nice guy. Real swell. Yeah. Hey.
Didn't he ghost you?
We're getting to it. So being the idiot that I am, for some reason, you know how it is, you break up with someone regardless of what the situation was. You want them back. You can't live without them, blah, 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 right?
Okay.
So we did get back together for a couple months or so. And I texted him one morning, hey, how are you doing? Whatever. And that was 3 years ago, and I'm still waiting to hear back from him.
I still work for him, so I'm not going to ask. So
well, tell him there's a segment on the show we did on him called Bitchin' About Bob. Tell him about it.
Oh gosh, I like working there. I mean, regardless of what happened in your relationship, I kind of need the money. Honestly.
No, but you know what? Just don't be shitty to people. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do not be shitty to people. Or we're going to talk about you on the show.
Exactly.
There you go. Moving on.
Most people said that they didn't homeschool their kids anymore.
They just sent the kids to work.
It was because most of the parents worked for the cult. So if you work for the cult, your kid is going to end up going to work too. And
was there any schooling at all going on?
I guess it was up to the individual person, but I can't find anybody that was actually homeschooling their kids after a certain point.
Oh my God.
Because the normal was you go to work for the cult, your husband goes to work for the cult, and your 10-year-old gets shipped off somewhere.
In that truck.
In the truck, in the dusty work clothes, with, a sad look on your face. I found some very interesting news articles this week, Laura.
Oh. And please read them to us.
Okay. This one is a news article, and I've been...
Can you say where it's from?
Well, listen, I have been debating, because, we don't say their name, current members' names, nothing. And a lot of people have been able to figure out who they are.
Right.
But I'm not going to give which news agency published this.
Okay, but it is a legit article.
It's a legitimate article that was published by one of the major news stations I think it was May of 2008.
Okay. So 10 years ago.
It says that the cult is a different, even darker sect than the FDLS.
Ooh, that's bad.
Authorities in February charged the group's 73-year-old leader with performing polygamous weddings and forcing about 40 children, some as young as 11, to work jobs on his compound. If a bunch of adults want to get together and follow some con man and throw their lives away, that's all right in this country, said the district attorney. But to me, when you do that to children and they don't have a chance, that's where the biggest concern is. If convicted on the most serious charges, the leader faces up to 20 years in prison.
Nice.
Now, this is an
10
article
years ago.
from 2008, and this is still continuing.
So what the hell happened?
The little leader man, he got a slap on the wrist and a small fine, and most of the charges went away.
Oh, how nice.
And this is still going on 10 years later. I'm not understanding this. In the same article...
And this was a huge news station.
Oh, yes. This is a huge news station. In the same article, it talks about the little girl was 7. She wasn't 8. Abia was
Which
7. Abia, who died from the surgery. That's listed in this article. And it says, although members deny they practice polygamy, former members say the leader has at least 24 wives.
What?
And state records show he fathered 2 babies last year with women ages 19 and 22.
And how old is he?
He was 78.
Oh,
well, wait a minute. He was 73 at the time of this article. This is a 10-year-old article.
But he's banging a 19-year-old.
We used to laugh because a lot of the women, they got the sperm delivered to them in frozen ice cubes.
Oh, God. Oh, God. What?
And they used a turkey baster to inseminate themselves.
What?
And
Why did you never tell me this?
Because it didn't come up. One of his wives was known as...
Ew.
One of his wives was known as the Immaculate Conception.
No, she wasn't.
She was known as the Virgin, and her name, because she was a virgin when she injected herself with this turkey baster and never had sex with anybody. And I never told you this.
Does my face look like you've told me this? Oh my God.
I talked to the one woman. They would take these frozen ice cubes of sperm and deliver them to his wives. And they would use a turkey baster. We used to joke about turkey baster babies.
Oh my God.
You can't even go on from here,
I can't even go on from here because that's the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard.
Well, it's right here in the article that the state records show he fathered 2 babies in 2007.
With a 19-year-old.
One was 19 and one was 22.
Oh, God.
You have to remember, it's an honor to be married off to an old man.
Yeah, sure.
I just wonder if he had sex with them or if they used the turkey baster.
Oh, my God. I wonder if they sell turkey basters in the all-man store.
No, that would be the woman's store. The woman would have to buy it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, the single men would have no use for the turkey baster.
That's true.
Unless they took the bulb off of it and used it a different way.
That's true. So it would be at the all-women's store, it would be the turkey basters.
At the I guess maybe they probably have an elder's wives store because they probably couldn't shop with the common women.
Okay, so...
Who knows? They could have 3 grocery stores.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I am never going to look at an ice cube the same way again. Thank you. So disgusting.
I'm so sorry. I can't believe I never told you
Either
that.
can I.
Wow. This, the article continues. This was such a long article, Laura, that I only took certain excerpts out of it.
Okay.
I wanted to take 20 times out of this article what I wanted to, but it continues with, it's definitely a cult that follows mind control techniques. I knew this member, and she used to be the choir director. But then
I didn't know they had a choir.
They used to have a children's choir too, and we used to have a talent show. We used to have all kinds of stuff until they became the oppressive cult they became. But she said that she was a cult member from 86 to 2000, and so many people's lives have been destroyed by what has been going on over there. Now here's my favorite part of the article. The bitch I love to
What,
hate
the
is
ice
quoted.
cubes wasn't?
No, the bitch I love to hate is quoted.
Oh, good. What does she have to say?
The bitch I love to hate says that she's been a member for 20 years and it's a scripture-based belief and they offer something missing in midstream churches.
Oh, do they now?
They're offering something special.
Okay.
Okay, now she blames disgruntled former members for the criminal investigations against them right now.
Not what they're doing, though.
Right. And she says when people leave the cult, they go out and feed the rumors and add on more lies. And you know what she said?
What?
But I actually pray for them.
Oh, how nice.
I don't
I'm
really
so
think
glad
she
she
does.
does.
I don't think she does.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
You know
right.
what? She probably does. She probably does because she probably feels that, they're going to hell and she needs to do her holy part.
Nuh-uh. Maybe the elders get paid a percentage. So, every time somebody leaves, she's losing grocery money.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Okay, the last part of this article that I'm going to read, like I said, it was very lengthy. Public records show that the leader owns at least $2.1 million in land, housing, and mobile homes. And that doesn't even count the stacks of cash that, we all know he's hiding.
Right.
Nowhere is his influence more apparent than on the cult's 1,200-seat warehouse-like sanctuary, where a dozen poster-sized pictures of the little leader man adorn the front wall.
Oh, I bet they do.
Worshippers must first remove their shoes, and feet and hands are then sprayed with disinfectant before they come in. Men and women are seated on separate sides of an 8-foot wall dividing the sanctuary. Women wear long clothing for veils and modesty, and everyone wears gloves for cleanliness.
Even the men.
You're rolling your eyes. I'm assuming that the men do. I found a second article, and...
Does it have the year?
No, it doesn't have the year.
Okay.
But it's a religion news blog, so you might want to look it up, a religious news blog of some sort.
Okay.
It's also a lengthy article, and I could not read the whole thing. Hopefully, people will be able to find it.
Okay.
Parts of it read, the leader also faces a misdemeanor charge of breaking child labor laws, accused of having up to 40 children working weekdays in fields, in canning operation, in a cafeteria, and in the butter making process. I've mentioned quite a few of those, haven't I?
Right, yep. Yeah, you have.
It goes on to say the criminal charges come after years of suspicion surrounding the cult, which gained attention in the 90s for its eclectic, sometimes, I don't even know what that word is, Old Testament teachings and prophecies. One current member who spoke to another newspaper multiple times on the condition of being anonymous described a system of authoritarian leadership and possible criminal abuses. The member who says she has grown progressively disenchanted with the group's teachings, but has yet not decided to leave, as she believes that the elders keep multiple wives. She said suspicions are difficult to prove because the elders, deaconesses, and other leaders maintain tight control of information, part of a system of power and supervision. They do watch everything you do. They're always watching, she said. You don't know who is married to who, and you're not allowed to discuss it. Women, this member said, they are required to call their husbands their heads and to wear latex gloves and a veil during and immediately after menstruation. Dress codes are enforced. A breeding program shields select girls and boys from the world to become future priests and priestesses to the church, the member said. And the congregation is asked to pray for nuclear war to fulfill the prophecies.
So they're praying for it to happen.
They're praying for nuclear war, and apparently, see, I didn't know they had a quote
breeding
unquote
program.
do you see that it's a breeding program?
Does that involve the ice cubes?
I don't know, but it's
What the hell? A breeding program?
that so it shields select girls and boys from the world, which means these children
Aren't seeing anything outside of the cult.
they are seeing nothing outside of the cult. So, like your daughter, if she was born there and she was chosen for this program,
Oh my God.
she would know nothing of Sesame Street. She would know nothing of books, toys, games.
Oh my
she
God.
would, and there's no telling what they're grooming these kids for. I mean, let your mind wander on that one, and probably
No,
don't
I don't
have to
want to.
You probably don't have to wander too far. This woman continues in the article saying, I used to go to the afternoon class after the services. I started calling it the brainwashing session. The woman said, you're not supposed to ask questions. You're just supposed to do what you're told. So, yeah, it's the brainwashing session, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, exactly. The whole thing.
Now, there's a spokeswoman for Child Protective Services there, and they said that they have investigated at least 20 cases involving cult members' children in the recent years. My own child was, I had CPS come to my house.
Oh, you said that one time.
Because Kenny thought honey and a Band-Aid. Honey and a Band-Aid was good for a black widow bite or whatever it was on the bottom of my son's chin.
Honey's the new Neosporin. Right?
I guess so, out in the cult. But yes, CPS was even involved with me, which then I became involved with CPS as one of the good guys. They would come to me and ask me things. Yes. They had a girl that wouldn't speak to anybody that would come into the room. And it was because they were trying to, like, you know, touch her hand, honey, it's okay. And they're trying to look her in the eye. And their first mistake was sending a guy in there to begin with, because she's taught that all men want to pillage and rape you. And anybody who looks you in the eye, when you want,
right.
They want to have sex with you. So CPS is... They removed the other children from the little girl that died. Here's one that I hadn't heard about. The CPS officials also investigated the death of a 1-year-old child who died of malnutrition and traumatic asphyxiation.
Wait, how old?
1 year old.
Oh my God.
Investigators found reason to believe the death was from medical and physical neglect. No criminal charges were brought in the case.
What?
The person that's the spokeswoman has declined to talk about any ongoing investigations, but these were all things that were 10 years ago. Everything.
And this stuff's still going on.
It's apparently still going on. I remember that there was one couple that made the news. I can't find the article, but they actually buried their dead baby. And the authorities had to have them take them to where the baby was buried and dig it up. They buried the baby in accordance to the religious practice of it has to be buried before sunset.
Right.
But I think they were trying to get rid of evidence because they don't take babies to doctors. So if something's wrong with it, you're just supposed to pray that your kid lives.
Right. So something could have been done to save it, most likely.
Probably and most likely. But because I think it was neighbors noticed that the mom wasn't carrying a baby around anymore.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And notified authorities. And authorities had no record of a 1-year-old baby dying lately. Right. Where's your kid?
So they had to dig the kid up?
They took the authority.
Did they do an autopsy?
They did an autopsy. But the baby had been buried too long.
Oh, man.
So... Another one that it probably died from malnutrition, neglect, because I know somebody who just had a baby and she's trying to explain to me that the baby was tongue-tied and the tongue thing right here is too long, so the tongue doesn't work properly on the baby, so it couldn't latch on.
Oh, for breastfeeding.
For breastfeeding.
Okay.
So she actually had to have her baby's tongue, the laser, they cut that little flap because it was too long. So who knows? Maybe there was just something physically wrong with the baby and it wouldn't latch on and eat.
That medically could have been taken care of.
Exactly.
Right.
There's so many people that die out there. I have a list downstairs. I quit keeping track. I showed you a piece of paper of people that have died and left.
Oh, yeah. It's pitiful.
And it's astronomically long. And I wonder how many are buried in that cemetery out there. Oh, and you did something interesting this week.
What did I do?
You gave me screenshots of Cultyville stuff. Hi, Cultyville. Hi, little leader.
What did I do?
You looked up their Pinterest crap.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I looked up their Pinterest account.
I was in hysterics. I don't even know what I think, isn't Pinterest supposed to share, like, recipes?
It's like arts and crafts and stuff and recipes, right.
They're sharing inspirational, it's time to pray.
Well, you can know, a lot of times people will post inspirational quotes and stuff.
Well, they have, what, 2 pages of inspirational shit?
Yeah.
Something like that, and that's it?
Yeah.
And you showed me their podcast, their wonderful podcast.
They have 4 episodes.
How many listeners?
Oh, God, I don't remember.
Hey, if you guys need some tips, I mean, we're like skyrocketing in the numbers here. In all honesty. And like I've told, you started doing it. Did you just stop because you couldn't get listeners, or you didn't know what you were doing?
Come on, you can do more than 4 episodes. Come on. If we can do it, you can do it.
We're on 25. We're better than you are. At least in the podcasts.
I don't even think they had reviews.
You would figure they would have their members flocking on there, but even their own members aren't listening to their podcast, but they're touting that they have one.
Well, they do have one.
Come listen to us. We have 4 episodes. Woohoo! And the Pinterest stuff?
Yeah, the Pinterest stuff was great.
Hold on.
What? What are you looking for?
I don't know. Sometimes I can't read my writing. Oh. Somebody asked me to tell this quick little story. There was a man and a woman that came here from another country, which would be above us. Okay?
Okay.
And they very happily worked for the cult. And anyway, they came here on a visa to attend this religious thing. They were there for years and years and years and years and years. Anyway, the man ended up pissing off the leader, so he had him deported. And then he took the man's wife as his own wife.
Oh, isn't that special?
I thought that was just crazy.
But of course he took her as well.
There are so many people out there from different countries that they come on visas
so
and they never leave.
He deports the guy because he wants the woman as a wife.
Yeah,
nice.
Pretty much.
That's pretty special.
I didn't talk to anybody about goat testicles. It was too busy of a week.
Put that in your book for this week coming up.
I'll just circle it, which means it is the next time.
It's pending.
Oh, and an ex-member that listens to us from last week, remember how, he's going back in time and fixing stuff?
Oh, yeah, on the timeline.
They suggested that he's the reason for the Mandela effect. Because he's going back and fixing stuff.
Oh, my God.
And if you don't know what the Mandela effect is, people, look it up. Okay, the Berenstain Bears are my favorite example of that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. It was always the Berenstain Bears. Because when I was learning to read, Stein, Stein, is a stein, a beer drinking.
Right.
And my grandfather collected steins. Well, here I am learning to read, and I was trying to pronounce it different because the pronunciation looks different.
Right. So
that's when my mom pointed out, well, Grandpa, he collects steins. It's the Berenstain Bears. And today the spelling's changed. It's the Berenstain Bears. Seriously.
I believe you.
Yeah, the Mandela effect. I personally remembering that Nelson Mandela died in prison back in 1980, but he didn't. And there's a lot of people that remember that. But when you actually look it up in history, it's like, no, he didn't. And there are tons of other examples.
So just stuff changing.
A mass of people remember it one way. Like Queen, We Are the Champions. I swear to you, it ended, we are the champions of the world.
Okay.
But today, if you listen to it, it just ends, we are the champions. And then the music, and then it's over.
Well, they could have just cut it.
No. The way I remember the song, anyway, look up the Mandela effect. You look at me like I'm crazy. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Sarah L., I'm sorry, we have to leave it for another day on how we met.
We talked about it. We just did like 20 minutes ago.
But not how we came up with the podcast.
No, but how we met.
Right, and how we decided on the podcast was the second part of her question.
Okay, well, there's Thunder.
That out. Well, Thunder really won't show up. I think I did a lot better with pronunciation this time.
You did great.
I tried really hard. Shirley, I got your sticker in the mail to you. I forgot to mail it out. I stuck it in my book and it sat there till I got my book out today. Do you have anything extra? Oh, hey, remember, men prefer debt-free virgins with no tattoos, by the way.
Oh my God, I saw that on Facebook.
I thought that was satire.
No, that's real. That woman is for real.
Yeah, so women, don't get your education so that you're debt-free.
It's like a right-wing evangelical Christian woman that has a blog.
I couldn't even bring myself to read it.
Oh, I read it. And
is she worse than the Duggar people or the Duggars or?
She's right with them.
Okay.
She's right with them.
Okay, then.
Yeah. Had nothing to say. This is what I loved. She was talking about how men don't want women that have debt, especially college debt.
Right. Because then you'd be educated.
She was basically saying that women should not go to college. They should be staying at home. They should be living with their parents until they get married, then take care of the husband and have kids. That's basically what she was saying. And I was like, okay, that's just great. But in addition to that, she didn't mention anything about men having debt. One woman wants a guy. I mean, debt is debt, whether the man has it or the
woman has it. Can the men have
the
tattoos?
She didn't say if men could have tattoos or not.
Just the women can't.
The women can't, and they should not have debt. And she kept reiterating college debt, that they should be not been going to college.
Because that would make them educated and be able to think for themselves.
Exactly. And she said something to the effect of, what woman would not want to have, a ton of kids?
Okay.
A lot of women don't want a ton of kids. A lot of women don't want kids, period.
Correct.
And yeah, going to college, you learn how to think for yourself, and we can't have that.
No, they might learn to think for themselves. It just really disturbs me at this point that they have a special breeding program out there. I did not keep up with the news or anything like that because I just wanted to shut it all away. And now you should, Laura, I showed you all the news articles on these people.
I know.
And it's
I just
sickening.
can't believe that nothing has been done. I mean, you have all of these outside people going in there. You have, magazines. You have news reporters. Didn't you say that they were on some show or something?
Oh, we were featured on 3 or 4 different TV programs.
So you have all of these outside people coming in, seeing proof right in front of them, and nothing is done.
Well, like the bitch I love to hate said, we're just all disgruntled members making up lies and rumors. But what she doesn't understand is there's literally hundreds of us that we're not disgruntled. We're angry about the things that happened to us, the way we were treated, the people that have died. People have lost their entire life savings, their homes, all of their possessions.
Yeah, that's not disgruntled.
No, you don't expect when you pay $15,000 for a trailer and an acre of land to have to put in a well and a septic and pay $7,000 more. And when you leave, you lose it all because you don't even have anything that's even titled to you. So, and then once you leave, they turn around and sell it to the next hopeful family that's coming to town for another $15,000. Yes. That's why he owns the $2.1 million in land
and that's just
trailers.
Land.
And that's just land. And
that's not any of the tithes.
No, that's
oh my God.
That's just land. And a lot of that land is not even in his name. My ex-father-in-law had 5 or 6 properties in his name that he had signed the vow of death that they still belong to the leader. But technically, yeah, they're his. That way, the leader doesn't look like he has millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. And is there anything you would like me to reiterate? You just look like you're lost.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, the whole breeding thing and that whole Ice Cube thing just has my brain.
I bet you never look at a turkey baster the same way.
That or an Ice Cube. Damn you anyway. Oh my God.
Ice cubes? Or you're damaged for ice cubes?
I am damaged for ice cubes. Yes, thank you so much.
But it won't look like a sperm cube.
Oh, shut up. Oh, God.
I'm going to get white pudding and make
You know what?
ice cubes that has pudding in it.
No, you're not. You are so disgusting.
But I find it funny.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Do you have anything else so I can get my mind off of this garbage? Or are you good for now?
I'm good for now. I have some other things, but we're just about out of time again.
All right. One thing I wanted to mention is I don't know if it's like a blog or an article, but they did an article on us.
I know. I found it and
newspaper.
sent it to you.
It's called Cowtown Crime.
Yes.
And I think I posted it with a link to it on all of social media. But they did a really, really nice article.
I liked it.
I was really happy with it. I was really surprised.
I was surprised that when you Google certain 3 words, hint, hint, people, that, out of the 10 things that come up, the cult is one of them, and we're like the other 8.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's all about, look at this, look at this, look at this. Wow.
Yeah, and it's like, it's us.
Yeah, and I want to take over the top spot.
We'll get there.
I know.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but I wonder how many people have Googled those 3 words and have gone to that website.
Oh, could be.
So, yeah.
Could be. Well, they need to put those words in and just click them.
Yeah, guys, and I just can't give you the words. I'm sure you're smart enough to figure them out.
You ready for this week's promo?
Cult. No? You guys suck. You guys did this. That's all I can tell you. And if you don't like me reading news articles about what y'all are into, maybe you shouldn't be doing those things.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
You're not going to report on something that you're not doing.
Exactly.
Just saying.
We're not disgruntled. We're angry about the things that happened.
And plus, disgruntled are usually 1 or 2 people. They're not the masses.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Yeah, these are the masses of people that are just
fed up.
Fed up and furious of how they were treated.
And until now, we have had to be silent and let what happened because, I mean, the news outlets to an extent know what's going on and have tried to report on it, but nothing's done. That's what I don't understand. Why is nothing done?
You're reading articles from 10 years ago.
Yes.
And it's just gotten worse.
Yes.
Not only is it continuing, it's getting worse.
Way worse. And I'm not understanding it, are you?
Nope, not at all.
Maybe answers will come our way at some point. That would be so nice.
That would be really good because I'm not getting it.
Well, guys, we've got a promo to read, but as always, hey, I'm going to stop by the library tomorrow, and I'm going to get me a book on starting a nonprofit.
There you go.
How about we read the promo?
Okay, it's called 2 Girls on a Bench.
Okay. Are they drinking?
I'm sure they're drinking. Trust me. But they also have snacks. Every episode, they're eating snacks.
Ooh, is it a different kind of snack?
I don't know. I think each week is a different snack, I believe. Yes. And it says, 2 frustrated writers with no time to write. Because they're busy podcasting, right? How to procrastinate now. A podcast, of course.
Okay.
And then it says, buy us a snack. And it has a link.
You can buy them a snack.
I guess we can buy them snacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
It probably goes to their Patreon account.
It could.
It could. So they're getting money for snacks.
That's awesome. That's the way to do it.
Well, yeah.
So give them a listen. 2 Girls on a Bench. They are on Twitter at 2 Girls on a Bench. All one word.
All right. Well, guys, till next week, keep your head up, adjust your crown like the queen bee you are, and keep kicking ass,
That's
everybody.
Right.
Keep kicking ass.
All right. I'm Laura.
And I'm Deb, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, this is 2 Girls on a Bench,
the podcast. So we're 2 writers who tend to procrastinate just a bit.
We like to snack, we like to talk.
We don't have time to write, but we have time to do this podcast.
We certainly do. Join us on the bench.
Listen in.
At number 2 Girls on a Bench.